Hello everyone, welcome. I've been working on website copy and writing descriptions of different things I specialize in, and I thought it might be nice to just read them. So today I'll be reading my information that I wrote on anxiety and rumination. Are you struggling with catastrophizing, ruminating, and nervousness? Are you looking for tools and ways to manage intrusive thoughts? My approach to anxiety is that at the core of it is being disproportionately in cognition. Cognition is only observable to us, such as emotions, feelings, and thoughts. And the environment is observable to us and others, such as our body, other people, and anything surrounding us. Part of what cognition is useful for historically for humans is in solving problems. Something is happening that we don't like. We utilize cognition to think through solving the problem. Sometimes we can solve them. Then we act upon the solution. Cognition has been put to good use. Cognition as modern humans in developed societies where our basic needs are mostly met can start to affect us in ways that are stressful. I think that essentially at the root of anxiety as the cultural phenomenon we are observing is a use of cognition that results in pain and suffering. The intended benefit of cognition is still there, such as solving problems and enacting the solutions, without the effect of the benefit. This may sound harsh, but stick with me. Modern problems, often when we look at the stakes, and the stakes are what the consequences if the problem isn't solved, are relatively low. We can get caught in the trap of acknowledging low stakes as, wait, does that mean that what I'm worried about doesn't matter? And get defensive towards folks pointing it out. Sometimes other people telling us the stakes are low is meant as a jab, and there's judgment behind it. I try to approach acknowledging the stakes with clients as a morally neutral task. If the stakes are low, they are low. That's not good or bad, but it is helpful information to prioritize where you are putting your energy. So if the stakes are low and you'd like to not be anxious, how do you do it? Redirect your attention. Sometimes modern society calls this distraction, but because often being distracted is thought of as bad, I encourage clients to approach it as redirecting attention. Typically, the best way to redirect attention is from cognition to environment. The more compelling the environment is, the more likely attention will be easily redirected. A useful but alarming version of this is if you are anxious about something that is lower stakes and you walk across the street and a car isn't stopping for you, you are significantly likely to naturally redirect your attention to saving your life and avoiding the car. The result of this is fight or flight and dysregulation. Ideally, the thing that redirects your attention is compelling and pleasurable. Think about what tends to get you to be in the moment. Typically for my clients, this is the relationships they find the most compelling, either in the form of physical touch, stimulating conversations, or a pleasurable activity they do with another person. Other compelling attention-drawing things often include your favorite hobbies, creative practices, getting yourself in a significantly different physical environment than where you felt anxious, being stimulated sensorially to pull yourself into the environment. Often clients come to therapy trying to fight cognition with cognition. If they have an intrusive thought, they think the way to stop thinking it is to fight it. This can sometimes work, but not as often as I'd say the majority of clients would hope it does. Typically, when folks are experiencing anxious thoughts, they are dysregulated or in some sort of fight or flight state. This is when we are the least capable consciously to counter-argue anxiety. We are the most vulnerable in these moments to believe catastrophic thoughts. I have typically experienced challenging catastrophic thinking to be a thing that is best done when a client is regulated and talking about the thoughts happening in the past, not in the present moment. What jolts you from cognition to environment? I would encourage you to think of ways, low energy cost, moderate energy cost, and high energy cost, to pull yourself from cognition to environment in the typical environments you inhabit. This can include home, work, public spaces you frequent, etc. What are your tools when you're low energy, moderate energy, and high energy? Typically, higher energy interventions are the quickest to get us into the environment, such as sprinting gets us typically fully into the environment. But Higher energy interventions are also the highest cost. If you are having a panic attack, it is highly unlikely you can just start sprinting. I think it is important to develop tools for different situations as well as different baseline energy resources available to you. I hope that reading a bit about my approach, which is an amalgamation of any person I have heard and have liked their ideas, helps to shed some light and help you experiment with improving how often and how severely you experience anxiety. My name is Caitlin Ruby Miller. I'm a therapist. Groups offered worldwide, individual, couples, family therapy offered currently in Wisconsin and Illinois, hopefully expanding my licensure statuses. I work with executive functioning, neurodivergent folks, burnout, creative people, people dealing with multiple chronic illnesses. And if you're interested in any resources, you're welcome to reach out. If you'd like to work with me, you're welcome to reach out, and please share and disseminate if you found this helpful to anyone you would like. Oh, also, I have a podcast called Counselors Craft a Curious Path, and I'm really excited about a tarot group I'm doing. So anyway, this was my video on just basic thoughts around anxiety and rumination, and I hope that my framing might help you with your anxiety and your rumination. Thank you. Goodbye.